Meaningful discussions are the epitome of the modern age, and one of the most phenomenal discussions in the modern age are the intricacies surrounding race. So, a palm-colored woman enters the scene and asks if amongst black people, there are some that just don't like palm-coloreds because of their race. And in this video, we're gonna find out some of the intricate responses she got after asking this intriguing question. And after that, we're gonna have a discussion of our own to answer this question of whether blacks may have some sort of biases towards palm-coloreds. And even if they were, would she or any palm-colored be surprised of this fact? Because why don't they find this surprising amongst the hatred that they have towards marginalized communities? We're gonna play you a streamline of some reaction videos that have videos sparked, and tell us your thoughts towards her question. What do you think about it?
You know what? I need to know. Are there certain black people that just don't like us because we're white?
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm white and I don't like white people because they're white. Your question is not even relevant really in this point in our lives. You go on to say, quote, my black friends on TikTok, will you please let me know? Well, they're not going to let you know because as you stated, they're your friends. And nobody's going to validate your feelings. If you're feeling some type of way that a group or a person doesn't like you because you're white, then that's on you. And you'll be hard pressed to find out that a lot of other races and cultures don't like white folks and or especially Americans. So what you really probably need to do is get out your feelings.
Now, I'm not going to answer that part about whether black people don't like us just because we're white, but later down in the comment section, when someone asks you for like an interaction that you've had with black people, and you say that you're just so nice and you get blatant rudeness back, only pay for what you need. Like, elaborate. Like, you're being so nice, and what they said back to you wasn't how you wanted them to say it. It didn't make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. It was straight to the point and assertive. I don't know the situation, but a lot of white people think black people are being rude when they are just getting to the point. Maybe they don't want a small talk. Maybe they don't want to shoot the shoe. It's not rude. If white people had the same interaction with you, would you say they were being rude, or would you just, Is it because it's a black person that is saying it that makes it rude? So, and really, I don't think black people are looking for us like that, so.
I'm going to get in trouble for this. I already know it, but you know what? I need to know. Are there certain black people that just don't like us because we're white? And I'm not even being political or racial or anything. I just want to know from my black friends out there on TikTok, like, are there some black people that just don't like us because we're white for no other reason?
This video is for educational purposes only, and it's not even really addressing this person. Because honestly, it wasn't a genuine dialogue to begin with. Just two things. First, if you're asking this question to black people on TikTok, that either means that you don't have genuine relationships with black folks in your life that you could ask this question to, or it's a disingenuous attempt to get views and build your platform. The second thing is that we live in a racial caste system. So we're all born into a social hierarchy based on race. We didn't create that, but we inherited it from the people that did. And they used it to subjugate and oppress black people. That system has been in place for centuries now, and it continues to this day. So while you think people should like you because you're friendly, you're still white. And you still represent and embody the oppression that black folks experience in this country. So rather than worrying about if people like you, maybe start thinking about why they don't trust you and your friendliness.
Now, let me just start by saying that marginalized communities are marginalized because they are one of the communities on the planet that have to thrive in all aspects of life in order for individuals from those communities to be able to thrive in their daily lives because of the great oppression surrounding race and culture. Therefore, being marginalized means that opportunities are taken away from you on the basis of race, ethnicity, and that means that you have to work twice as hard as compared to the other communities, because in other communities, opportunities are a guarantee for them because of the same basis that you struggle to find those same opportunities: race, segregation, and ethnicity. Now, the intriguing aspect of this discussion is that when somebody from a racially advantaged community asks whether the marginalized communities hate them or not, it kind of leaves us to wonder whether this person is ignorant of the facts that they come from a racially advantaged community. Hence, this automatically puts them at the top of the food chain. One shouldn't wonder whether a marginalized community hates them or not if they are on the top of the food chain, because they come from a racially advantaged community. That means that opportunities are poorest for them as compared to those that were oppressed by this person's ancestors. So on a history basis, they should be aware of that. And from this phenomenal question, you're able to see one of the most intriguing or daunting aspects of some palm coloreds: the fact that they are racially ignorant of the biases that they portray to other communities. In this case, ignorance is bliss. And this is one aspect that fuels on this phenomenon of racial injustice. Now, where does this leave us in our discussion? Well, this tells you a lot, and it shows that a lot has to be done in the palm color community, such as re-education and re-emphasizing the implications of racial injustice towards marginalized communities, especially the Black community. Because the Black community is different from other marginalized communities, because the oppression for Black people continues, and it has been reverberating in a unique and profound way as compared to other communities. Now, I say it's unique because we can draw out conclusions from the Tulsa riot race and the Wilmington unaliving. These two incidents place Black communities at the center of marginalization, discrimination, and racial injustice as compared to other marginalized communities. As much as other marginalized communities are marginalized, the oppression compared to Black people is different. And if you can fact check, you're gonna agree with me. Because in an incident such as the Tulsa riot race, a Black community was trying to thrive by creating a Black Wall Street. And this was one of the most wealthiest communities in history. And your people went and unalived it and destroyed its people. How can people have a love towards you if you even choose to be ignorant of those facts? It's like the question goes surrounding the coming back of the Messiah. Most people ask, when is he coming back? And preachers say, well, the gospel has to be preached in all the corners of the earth in order for him to come back, because everybody has to hear the good news and everybody has to be aware of the Savior who saved their life. And from the palm color community, it is almost the same. The gospel about racial injustice has to be preached in all the corners of the palm color community in order for racial injustice to be eradicated. Now, correlating these two different scenarios might not be the best example, but it shows you exactly how much work needs to be done in re-educating and re-emphasizing the implications and the values of the contributions that the Black community has offered to the tapestry of history. Because if a palm color person such as her understood her history very well, shouldn't be one to ask such a biased question, but should be in the forefront of paving the way for justice. And if you're a palm color person out there, the best question you can ask is, as an individual palm color, what can I do in order to eradicate or decrease marginalization and the daunting implications of slavery? Not only does this show that you understand your history very well, but it also shows that you have compassion and empathy in the way you are approaching this question. But this also leaves us wondering whether some palm coloreds feel to be ignorant of the facts of racial injustice and the slavery that was done by their ancestors. Look, she's saying that she's a good person. If I'm a good person and I know that my parents or my ancestors did something to my neighbors or to people in my community, and I grow up to be in a position of having a say, with the understanding that I have, and on the basis that I'm a good person, I have compassion, I have empathy, I'll just take about 5 minutes and approach these people. Take my pride and put it aside. Tell them how sorry I am that my ancestors did this, and ask them if there's anything I can do to help. Not only does this show that I understand, but it also shows that I want to bring peace to the world. I want to help in a way, even if I'm not in that position of giving that help. But the approach counts. And that's the reason why I like relating some of our discussions to the way we live here in Africa. Like here in Africa, there's this phenomenon where if you walk back to your house and find the living room dirty or messed up, maybe the young ones in the house were playing around, or even if you're the oldest of the house and you know that that person is supposed to sweep or do the cleaning or do the dishes, because you understand that, okay, maybe they might be tired or they're doing something, they're occupied. You get a mop, you get a broom, you get whatever it is that you can use to clean that mess up, because you understand that the family is one unit. It operates as an organism varying of different components, and our communities are alike. And this also makes our mothers happier because they know that they've done a good job in raising you. And even when she's not around, she knows that you'll be a responsible grown-up or sibling to your siblings. What am I trying to imply? Well, I'm implying that some of these issues stem from the fact that some communities lack a cultural heritage that is real and that brought value to the world. Because you see, the African culture or the black culture brought civilization to the world. It introduced innovation. It introduced a lot of great things that people are happy about today. And that's the reason why black people in general, we have so much compassion, empathy, and understanding. And from that basis, a black person can never stand up and do something unjustful, just because they are angry or upset. We always think before we act. Now, the fact that some communities lack this cultural heritage also adds another layer of complexity to such phenomenons and also continues fueling on racial injustice. And that concludes our discussion today. And some of you must be questioning whether all blacks think before they act. Well, most of us do. Now, if you found today's discussion intriguing, insightful, or educative, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be sure to see you in the next video. See you. Goodbye.